So let's just close our eyes if you're comfortable and just dropping into your heart. Taking a deep breath as we know that we are together. We are connected. We are home. I am knowing that that loving and profound and powerful and joyous expression of spirit moves through each one of us, no matter where we are. That presence of the divine is there, surrounding us and holding us and uplifting us and delivering to us exactly the words that we need to hear today, exactly what we need to open our hearts and to provide a healing and transformation in our lives. I'm knowing that Jenny's talk, that as it is channeled from spirit, as it moves through her, it comes out and it touches us. The vibration of her words, the love with which she speaks these words, I am knowing that it touches each of us and it goes out, and it not only touches our community, but it is a healing that is supportive to the greater community, to the planet, to the world. And so with gratitude in our hearts for this time, we just feel that gratitude and we let it wash over us as we are feeling just so grateful to be together today, so grateful to be joining together this morning. And so with that, we release this, we allow it to be, and together we say, and so it is.
Good morning, everybody. So today's talk is related to this song, actually. This is about the grounding practice of prayer, how it can help balance our lives and keep us focused. And this is called Sweet Hour of Prayer. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer that calls me from a world of care and bid me at my spirit's home make all my wants and wishes known in seasons of distress and grief. My soul has often found relief and oft escaped my sorrows there by thy return, sweet hour of prayer. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, thy wings shall my petition bear to God, whose truth and faithfulness engage the waiting soul to bless. And I will make a quiet place to rest my mind and trust in grace. I'll cast away my every care and wait for thee, sweet hour of prayer. I'll cast away my every care and wait for thee, sweet hour of prayer.
Thanks, Julie. Sweet hour of prayer. Let's just take a moment and harmonize our hearts in this sweet hour of prayer. Just repeat with me these words and take them in and know their true meaning. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. You know, Meister Eckhart said that if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it is enough. And that's how I feel when we harmonize our hearts and we repeat these words: care, appreciation, gratitude, thank you, compassion. These are our prayer words. So the topic this morning is stayed. What do you think of when you hear that word stayed? Do you think of the spelling S-T-A-I-D, which means sedate or serious-minded or unadventurous? Or do you think of the other word stayed, spelled S-T-A-Y-E-D, which means to remain, to rest, to focus on? Well, this morning we're exploring that second meaning, because while we New Thoughters can be serious-minded and certainly bask in the sacred, in the holy, we are anything but staid, S-T-A-I-D, and unadventurous, right? We realize that life is one big adventure, and we embrace living it to our fullest extent. So come on with me, let's dive into the word stayed, S-T-A-Y-E-D. The one that we understand the meaning of when we hear that old gospel song, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Doesn't that just inspire joy in you? It sure does in me. And I want you to take a minute now and sing it with me. I mean, come on, don't fuss. I know there are a bunch of you out there going, I can't sing, I don't want. But most likely you're watching this either alone or with someone who loves you enough to not care what you sound like, even if you think you have a poor singing voice. The physical act of singing out loud is good for you. It creates this vibration, a resonance in your body that is great for your mental and emotional health. Because when you sing, your brain releases endorphins, those natural feel-good chemicals that lift your mood. And scientific studies even show that singing has other great benefits. It boosts your immune system, it releases stress, it has benefits for your heart, it increases your energy, it improves your memory. I can use that, right? And it fosters clearer thinking, because when we sing, we have to focus on the way we breathe. And so when we use that correct breathing, it feeds our brain, and so it improves our memory and gives us clearer thinking. So come on, just sing it with me. Nobody's going to hear you, nobody's going to care. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Can't you just feel that joy welling up from within you? That vibration that goes down to your very toes? I love it. And really, isn't that joy what we're trying to attain in every moment of our lives? Well, we can get there. We can get there not only by singing, even though that's a really great way, but by keeping our minds stayed on spirit, by remembering in each moment that spirit is right where we are. You know, we get it by identifying ourselves with that divine spirit that lives within each one of us. Ernest Holmes wrote a book called Your Spiritual Power, and in it he says that the great identification is with the I am in the midst of our being. Spirit is the great actor, the final cause of everything, and the act of spiritual identification through conscious communion is one of the supreme accomplishments of the soul. It's that sweet hour of prayer, right? Identification through conscious communion, that's exactly what prayer is. And the fact that it's one of our supreme conscious accomplishments in life, the supreme accomplishment of our soul, well, that's pretty awesome, I think. But even better, I think, than the word stayed might be the word constancy. Constancy goes a little bit deeper even than stayed. Constancy means the quality of being enduring, faithful, dependable. Constancy implies commitment, dedication, durability, and persistence. And in these times when we have so much knowledge and varieties of entertainment and the ability to distract ourselves with something new and different in each and every moment, constancy can sometimes seem to be in short supply. But don't we want our identification with spirit to have those qualities of constancy, to be enduring, to be faithful and dependable? In the Science of Mind textbook, Holmes says that a constant realization of the presence of spirit will provide a sense of divine companionship that no other attitude could produce. That just fills me with a sense of awe and wonder. I love that. Isn't it beyond wonderful when we realize that spirit is right where we are in every moment, that we're never alone? And even better, when we realize that it's also possible, because of that, to never be lonely, to know that we are always companioned by an ever-loving presence. To me, that constancy is crucial to a happy and fulfilled life. We learn the benefits of constancy in this philosophy and in other areas of our life. I don't know, when we learn to meditate, when we do our daily spiritual practice. I mean, it takes constancy to keep turning our mind back toward a state of peaceful awareness, not toward trying to turn off our thoughts and feelings, but by staying in that state of just observing them without judgment. It takes constancy to dedicate time every day to those practices that make our lives better, whether it's our meditation, through journaling, through some other spiritual exercise or practice, through our exercise program, or learning a new skill that gives us pleasure, like, I don't know, woodworking or learning to play a musical instrument. I don't know. The 2021 Olympics started on Friday night, and I don't know if you've watched any of it, the opening ceremonies. It's been just fabulous. But when I watch that and I think about all of the constancy it takes for those athletes to become as skilled at their sport as they are, when you watch them closely, you can see that they become immersed in what they're doing and they get into the flow of it. When we keep our minds stayed on spirit, we get into the flow of life. The power and the presence of spirit flows through us, as us. And when we get into that flow, we come to realize that we no longer have to strive hard to achieve our desires or to be fearful of the outcomes of any situation that we may encounter on our life's journey. We don't have to strive hard or be fearful, but we do have to pay attention. Just like in our meditation practice, we have to keep our minds attuned to being the channel through which divine wisdom flows. We put our entire trust in the law of God. We activate our hearts, we embody compassion, and take powerful, meaningful action. Our minds are stayed on spirit as we move powerfully and self-consciously, knowing that spirit within us is what does the work. And then we have unqualified trust in ourselves and in our vision. When we keep our minds stayed on spirit, we realize that we're the channel of divine flow on earth, that there's no challenge or circumstance that is more powerful than the divine source within us. And no matter how compelling the facts of any situation are, we know that divine source is more powerful. Conditions change, but source is constant. And we know that we can always use that divine mind within us to change any condition for the better. When we keep our minds stayed on spirit, on the constancy of its power, the constancy of all of the goodness that it makes available to us, we learn to be at peace with ourselves and with the world around us. And I don't know about you, but being at peace with myself and with the world around me are pretty high up on the list of my greatest desires. In fact, it might be the number one desire of my life, because when I am at peace with myself and the world around me, I know that I am acting out of love, that I am being love, and that I am loved. I know that I have the freedom to do and to be all that I want to express, that I get to experience all of the joy and all of the other good feels that I possibly can. And to me, that is beautiful. The words constancy and stayed also allude to the idea of waiting, that we wait on God. We wait knowing that all will be revealed and come to us in perfect timing. Henri Nouwen says that to wait open-endedly is an enormously radical attitude toward life. It is trusting that something will happen to us that is far beyond our own imaginings. It is letting God define our life, living with the conviction that spirit shapes us according to its love and not according to our fear. The spiritual life is a life in which we wait, actively present to the moment, expecting new things will happen to us, for us, new things that are far beyond our own imagination. I got that quote from Reverend Scott Aubrey, and he goes on to say that Nouwen's words may be radical, but they speak truth. Live with an open heart, he tells us. We don't have to have it all figured out, but when we wake up to the fact that we're not in control, that we are part of something larger, we just might open ourselves to a new way of living. We might begin to say no to the hurry up, me first world, and toward compassion, a heartfelt concern for our sisters and our brothers. What is waiting to be born in you? A new path? Perhaps healing of wounds that run deep. Courage, confidence, maybe a new way of seeing and being in the world, maybe a life that is less about getting and taking and more about giving. This has been an unprecedented 16 months or longer. There's been so much change and upheaval. And so I just want to take this moment to deeply and sincerely thank each one of you who has kept your minds and hearts stayed in our NTNC community. Thank you for your faithfulness, your commitment, your dedication to being an enduring part of this spiritual community and helping us to continue to do the work to make all our lives in the world a better place. When I think of your constancy of love, of participation and givingness, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. So I want you to know that we are diligently working on finding space to come back together for in-person gatherings. But in the meantime, until we find that perfect space, please join us for the in-person gatherings that we can organize right now. Our Eat, Pray, Love events at the local restaurants, mostly, and our concert tonight at our house, and anything else that we can cook up where we can get together. Because, we miss you. We'd love to see you. If you feel comfortable with it, we want to give you a giant hug. So your homework this week is to remind yourself at various times in your day to keep your mind stayed on spirit. And now to end this part of our time this morning, I want to do a mindfulness practice together that's based on a prayer written by Ernest Holmes. So just to get comfortable, if you're not already, breathe into your heart center and declare this for yourself. Knowing that the divine presence is always closer to me than my very breath, I have nothing to fear. I feel this loving protection around me. I know that the song of joy, of love, and of peace is forever chanting its hymn of praise and beauty at the center of my being. And therefore, I tune out of my mind all unhappy and negative thoughts and negative ideas. And rather, I direct my thought to the sunshine of life, to brightness and laughter, to the joyous presence of radiant spirit. I lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let divine love operate through me into my affairs. And joyfully, I anticipate greater abundance, more success, and a deeper peace. Joy wells up within my mind, and life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. And so it is.